path coming down the hill. No longer green. Not banked as swastika, but a white star. It was sort of a mud-splattered vehicle, but I've never seen a star brighter in my life. And two men sort of jumped out, came running toward us, and one came toward where I stood. He was wearing battle gear. I had to think, his helmet was mesh over that. He was wearing dark glasses. And he spoke to me in German. And he said, does anybody here speak German or English? And I said, I speak German. And I felt that I had to tell him we are Jewish. I didn't know if he would know what the star means or anything, but And I looked at him. I was a little afraid to tell him that, but I said to him, we are Jewish, He didn't answer me for quite a while. And then his own voice was sort of betrayed his own emotion. And he said, so am I.
The final task before opening was to rebury 39 urns of dirt gathered by survivors and brought to Washington. Dirt, ash, bone, DNA. A last and final resting place for a mass of humanity that will underlie, bank, an eternal flame always to be kindled here.
The precious soil before us that you see on these tables is from 38 concentration camps, killing centers, ghettos, villages. The soil is a sacred artifact. Each particle of soil was collected from a place of unspeakable human tragedy.
From Auschwitz, Birkenau, Poland, Simon Breitman.
Many of these survivors were instrumental in creating the museum. When Genesis says, dust thou art, and unto dust thou shalt return, could this scene ever have been imagined?
From Białystok, Poland, Selinbrook, Los Angeles, J. Markov, Los Angeles. From Buchenwald, Germany, Jack Rosenthal, New York, Max Temkin, Douglaston, New York.
In April 1993, the 50th anniversary of the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising, the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum opened. There is no easy, passive way here. Visitors are given the identity card of a Holocaust victim or survivor of the same age and sex. A passport companion. Then, as they progress through the museum, travel through history, they get updates on the real life or death story of the companion, what they were doing, where they were in, say, 1940. These are the people who grab us by the lapels across the barrier of time and ask, why? People are the key to any history. For me, it's easy to personalize this story. This is my father Moshe and my uncle Yitzhak. They're in the museum because they were once a part of the lost village of Eishishke. I was lucky. My father left, and I was born in America. So it's easy for me to have a real connection to this museum, to the Holocaust. But I won't always be here, and neither will my generation, which is why we do history, for the future and its generations. Why did it happen, the Holocaust? A modern philosopher has said that it is the paramount question facing humanity. It refuses to go away. Certainly it is a squalid, painful history. But when we suppress it, we promote the emergence of future Holocausts. Who will be the victims next time?
One of the things we tried very hard to do in this museum is to allow people to connect with one another and to connect with the story and the victims of the story. We tried, in fact, to tell the story from the victim's perspective. We felt that only if we could get the essence of the story down to a personal level could we capture that very important side of what a museum must do.
We want you to come out and learn the lesson. Don't become a perpetrator, but even don't become a bystander, which is probably the most important moral lesson we hope the visitors will take away.
Being sometimes in the places where you realize that 600,000 people were killed, and you look at the birds, and you look at the trees, and you feel it's like nothing happens. Like the perpetuum mobile, it still is running, it still is going, and that's, I think, that says that our museum is very much needed.
the Holocaust is beyond a Jewish question. It's beyond a European question. It's beyond a question of nation or a question of race. It's actually about the human condition, what we are capable of, what we have done, and what we can go on doing.
Recognizing ourselves in history. Maybe that's the best and final point of the museum. We must connect the perpetrators, victims, bystanders, who are not outsiders. They are us. Only connect, and you have no choice but to remember for the living.